Hey everybody, Chris Anderson here for Team Cardhoarder, and got another episode of Coach Chran's Corner. We're going to do something a little bit different this week. I'm actually really excited about this. Devin and I have been talking a lot about no ban list modern. There's been some tournaments going on in Seattle lately at the Mox Boarding House, where basically it's just the modern format, except there's no ban list. And like I always kind of have been a big fan of formats that are largely unexplored. We really don't know what the best format or best decks in this format are because like great Magic players haven't done very much work on trying to build the best Magic decks in these formats. So basically, we get to flex our deck building muscles, if you will, and try something new, try something cool. We could try something simple, like there's the obvious ones, you know, like Skull Clamp Affinity, Hypergenesis, Elves combo, something like that. But there's also other cooler things. And today, I tried to put together something that I think would be really fun to play and very interactive. One of the things I'd be a little bit worried about in No Ban List Modern is that the games are going to be super uninteractive because as bad as the non-interactive versus non-interactive matchup in Modern is, if there was no ban list, it might be even worse. So right now I'm trying to put together a very interactive Modern deck and see if that'll get the job done. So hopefully this will be good, but there's a very good chance that the concept is good, but this is certainly not tuned by any means. I've only been working on it for an afternoon or so. But it's got a lot of things that I really like, and it's got I think it's going to be really fun to play. So I'm calling this deck Digblade. Stoneblade, one of the variants of Stoneblade. It's a Stoneforge Mystic deck as far as how it ends up winning its games, and then you got Dig Through Time as its primary card advantage engine. So yeah, let's go ahead and go over the card lists and all that kind of stuff. So start things off. Let's see, 4 Stoneforge Mystics, and then that allows us an equipment package, Umezawa's Jitte, it's banned in Modern, Stoneforge Mystic banned in Modern. Batterskull, while not banned in Modern, the interaction between Mystic and Batterskull would have made it way too powerful for Modern. And then we've got another equipment that's banned in Modern, Skull Clamp. You can search up Skull Clamp with Stoneforge Mystic, which is kind of a neat interaction that I think kind of gets glossed over when you consider no ban list Modern, because Skull Clamp usually you think of Affinity or something along those lines. But another thing that you can do with Skull Clamp is Lingering Souls. So between Skull Clamp and 1 Lingering Souls, that's 4 tokens with the Hardcast and the Flashback, 2 cards each for the Skull Clamp. So when all is said and done, you get to draw 8 cards off of those 2, which is pretty absurd. So hopefully I'll be able to pull that off, and it should just be able to outcard advantage any deck in a long, grindy game. Other than that, let's see. I've got just a bunch of good blue cards. Snapcaster Mage is a great blue card. Negate's a great blue card. Mana Leak. I decided to play Negate in my main deck because I think it'll be very good against a lot of the super powerful, like ultra powerful combo decks that that No Ban List Modern would offer you. It's 2 mana hard counter, and I think hard counters are really, really good in a deck like this. Let's see. So I'm trying to make a lot of trades, basically. So we got Mental Missteps. That's another card that's banned in Modern. I think this card is amazing. It's banned in Legacy as well. A lot of these cards are banned in Legacy. There's Mental Missteps banned in Legacy. Skull Clamp is banned in Legacy. Dig Through Time banned in Legacy. That's another one of the really, really great cards in this deck that really makes the card advantage just bury people in card advantage. You know. Snapcaster Mage works off of the Delve cards with Dig Through Time, so it can cost 4, or as little as 4 if I Snapcaster Mage back at Dig Through Time, which is really, really strong. And because of that, I'm playing Thought Scours over Preordains. Thought Scour is actually really cool in this deck for a number of reasons. One is it allows me to feed my Snapcaster Mages, gives me a bunch more cards in my graveyard. Sometimes I can mill over Lingering Souls, and that basically just gives me extra cards by doing that, because I get the flashback off of Lingering Souls for free. And, of course, most importantly, it helps me pay for my Delve on my Dig Through Times. So we're running some Thought Scours as well as Ponder, another card that's banned in Modern. It's really, really good. A lot stronger when you have a lot of shuffle effects, which we do. We've got 4 Flooded Strands, 4 Polluted Deltas, and 2 Marsh Flats, so 10 total fetch lands. We've also got Stoneforge Mystic, which is a shuffle effect, so I can cast a Ponder and then cast Stoneforge Mystic the next turn and shuffle away the 3rd card that I don't really want off of Ponder. Or even just go Ponder Stoneforge in the same turn. Path to Exile, just quality removal. And I got a Supreme Verdict in the main deck too. I only really have to run 1 copy of things like this when I've got a bunch of Dig Through Times in my deck, because I'm going to get to see a lot more cards per game than a typical blue control deck, because I get so much card selection when I cast Dig Through Time. I have access to 7 different kinds of cards. So that means having just 1 Wrath in my deck, it's more like having 1.3 Wraths in my deck or something along those lines. I don't know exactly how many, but it will show up more than what 1 copy of a card will normally show up in. So it's kind of nice to have access to an effect like that in this deck. Moving on to the sideboard. I don't really know like what the right way to build the sideboard is, because I really don't know what No Bandless Modern consists of, like what the metagame looks like. Because like there really aren't any regular tournaments for it, so we don't have the access to that kind of thing. So when I built it, I decided I really like the interaction between Sensei's Divining Top and Thought Scour. So I went ahead and put 1 Sensei's Divining Top in my main deck. And this is something that I did with a legacy deck that I played that was based around Dig Through Time about 1.5 years ago, back when Dig was in Legacy, but Treasure Cruise was not. So it was about like 1 ban cycle, I think. But I played Sensei's Divining Top in my main deck, and then I would play the rest of the counterbalance package in my sideboard, because not all matchups you want to be counterbalancing them. Sometimes you just want to make trades and then cast Dig Through Times for card advantage, and eventually win that game. But in other matchups, you just want to get counterbalanced top down as fast as you can. So post sideboard, I can bring these 5 in, and then we'd have a counterbalance engine in the deck that is pretty useful. Pardon me. We've also got Meddling Mages. I think Meddling Mages is a really good card against combo decks. Just various numbers of combo decks. I don't really know everything that'll be thrown at me, but Meddling Mage does a really good job at holding the ground at whatever it happens to be. It's also a nice creature, 2/2 for 2, solid, and holds an equipment really well. So yeah, I like having Meddling Mages in a Stoneforge Mystic deck. Canonist, similar to Meddling Mage. I think it's just like an extra one against decks that are either Cascade-based, so Hypergenesis, they can't actually get their Hypergenesis off, or Storm decks, because I think Storm is probably really good in this format, since you have access to all of the rituals that have been banned in Modern, Rite of Flame and Seething Song. Ponder and Preordain, like, it's just an incredibly consistent deck. So we got that in there. We got another Negate, another hard counter against both control and combo decks. And for creature decks, we got Terminus as an additional package for the counterbalance top thing. I don't know if this is very good or not. It might be better off just being something else, but just going into a full transformational sideboard to turn into countertop might be something that's pretty good. It might not be, but we're going to find out. And 1-mana Wraths are very good. So finally, have a Lingering Souls in here, just in case like I'm playing against grindier matchups where Lingering Souls happens to be great. If there's like a Blood Rage on deck, this is probably really good. And yeah, that just about wraps it up. So hopefully we're going to do well against Devin. I think we're going to have a lot of fun, though, because this deck looks like a blast to play. So yeah, see you in a bit.